Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Boring DAO Podcast. For today's episode, I've been talking to Chai from the OKX Chain. And the OKX Chain is actually coming to Cosmos very soon. They're going to enable an IBC within a couple of weeks. So they're coming to our ecosystem, and with it, they are going to bring a lot of exciting stuff. I mean, obviously, because they're connected to their centralized exchange, they will bring a lot of users. Then they bring new stable coins. USDT is one of them, so this is super exciting. They're bringing a lot of adoption, new protocols, new projects. So yeah, very excited for them coming to the Cosmos ecosystem. And in today's episode, we've just been going through the timelines, what exactly they are bringing, what their goals are to the Cosmos ecosystem, what they contribute, and in details what they are bringing to the ecosystem. So mucho alpha in today's show was very interesting, and now enjoy the show. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Boring DAO Podcast. Today I'm sitting here with Chai from OKC, and without further ado, I just want to give the word to Chai and introduce yourself real quick. What have you been doing in the past? How did you get to where you are today? What are you doing at OKC? And can you maybe also introduce the project real quick to us?
All right, thank you very much. It's very great to be here. I'm Chai, as Lucas said. Here I'm at OKX. OKX is one of the major crypto exchange platforms, and now I believe it is one of big crypto companies, I would say, or focus on blockchain technologies. And here at OKX, I'm responsible for ecosystem development for OKX Chain. OKX Chain, we launched OKX Chain last year around this time. And however, we have been working on OKX Chain for over 2 or even more years. Initially, we used Cosmos SDK because we believed at that time what Cosmos was promising was really interesting, and we truly believe for multi-chain, we truly believe multi-chain is the future, and we also believe cross-chain technology is essential for us. And then last year, we realized ecosystem was very critical, and also we see Ethereum virtual machine or ecosystem upon Ethereum virtual machine was exploded last year. So we tried our best to make a Cosmos SDK compatible with the EVM. And since last year, we have been focusing on building ecosystem around OKX Chain because when we launched our chain, we missed the good time of DeFi. I believe DeFi was exploded in 2021. And then we also lucky enough to figure out that GameFi or metaverse for that matter gained traction last year around this time. So we have been focusing on GameFi since our launch, and so far there are around 30 games fully launched on our chain. Some games such as Crypto Blades, which was top 3 on BSC when it moved from BSC to OKX Chain, and now it's a daily active player. And then the number of daily active players on OKX Chain is around 15,000 on average. And this is pretty much what we have been doing. Tomorrow, Tether will issue USDT on OKX Chain. So this is a big deal. It's been we have been working or collaborating on this for over 2 months, and this is the first Cosmos powered chain that Tether issued USDT. And after this, TUSD will also issue TUSD, true USDT, I believe. We also issue TUSD on OKX Chain as well. Even though USDT or TUSD have been on OKX Chain since the day 1 of our launch, but that is not the native USDT or verified by its issuers. So this is a very big deal. Once our RBC is enabled, we will be able to transfer or support like those native USDTs transfer it to other Cosmos chains as well. So this is a very big news for us, and we are looking forward to it. And personally, I have been in this space for like over 5 years. I joined, as a matter of fact, I read Bitcoin white paper in 2013. At that time, I just was amazed by the idea. I never knew I can invest in like Bitcoin because I thought Bitcoin was just a medium of like exchange of value, not like itself, like the price will increase has been increased so much. So I believe I encountered crypto in 2013, but I joined this space in 2018, and I joined this space by joining Huobi Group. Huobi was also one of like largest major crypto exchange platforms. And but due to some like internal policies, they pulled out of the Chinese market, and so far they are still like doing very well. But in terms of business, its business scale, it's not as large as it was before. And then last year, I joined OKX because I believe what OKX was doing at that time. I mean, OKX Chain was quite promising because I fully involved in the launch of Cosmos. I believe it was in 2019 or 2020. And I truly believe like the vision of Cosmos because the way it promised the SDK, the RBC, as well as like the current like CosmWasm, the virtual machine, I believe it is like quite promising. So I joined OKX and has been working on OKX Chain since then. And I'm quite confident that we will make OKX one of major public chain as well, because we have been focusing on increasing the performance of OKX Chain. In terms of TPS, now the TPS of our chain is over 4,000, and in terms of gas fee, it is also like a lot cheaper. So I believe we are prepared, and of course, bear market is a very good opportunity for us. Once and we have been like focusing on infrastructure, bridges, wallets, all of those are like essential ecosystem development. And I believe once there's another like bull run, I believe OKX and we will like make it very big. Yeah.
Awesome. There's so many things you touched on that I want to dive deeper into. But first one, maybe the way you described that, right? OKX, it's a centralized exchange, and then you have the OKC, the OKX chain, basically, which is where you're working on. But that sounds very familiar. Like the setup sounds very close to what Binance is doing. So is that a valid comparison? Is what you're trying to build something similar to what Binance is doing? And how do you differentiate yourself from Binance, and like, why are you better?
Yeah, well, it's a very good question. As a matter of fact, speaking of like Binance, the head of Binance, CZ, and He Yi, I believe He Yi is responsible for marketing and business development, I believe. And those two are also like from OKX. So CZ was like CTO of OKX. He Yi was CMO of OKX, and then they left OKX and studied Binance. So from a certain point of view, we share a lot of visions. And because of this, I believe from a certain point of view, it is pretty much like, OKX Chain to OKX is pretty much like BSC to Binance. And I believe it's not simply for OKX and Binance. I mean, Crypto.com, they also have their own like public chain, Chrono. And for Huobi or even other like centralized business, they have their own like public chains. So I believe one of the reasons is like in 2020, before 2020, I mean, even though there were some kind of DEXs out there like Kyber or 0x, but I mean, those DEX, they were like for centralized businesses. At that time, DEXs were like a joke because trading volume was like extremely low, and the user experience was like crazy. So at that time, centralized exchanges, they always believed like, well, centralized business was like the like always the king, and we are always like that until in 2020 we got like Compound, we got Uniswap, and then we were like totally like at that time confused, because we at that time we experienced like a lot of like assets draining out, like every day USDT, ETH, or Bitcoin, like every day the assets just flowing out. And for centralized business, I mean, trading volume is very important, but assets volume is also very, very critical. And then at the time, like every day volume was draining out. And then we just totally confused. And then after at least like more than 1 month or two, we like eventually realized where did all of funds go. And then we figured out they went to like Uniswap, they went to SushiSwap or Compound. And then we realized decentralization was coming, and we could not like fight with them. Then we started like working on our own strategy. Some of the strategies were like quite ridiculous, totally failed. Others was working very well, such as we started our own wallet, which was like very important. And we also kicked off our public chain. At that time, like at that time I was at Huobi, we started our like Huobi chain. The first version of Huobi chain was totally disaster. But eventually we figured out, we like initiated Heco, even though it was not as good as we expected, but it is definitely a public chain. And then I joined OKX. And at OKX, the mindset or all of those things that we have experienced were pretty much the same. We totally like shocked and totally like amazed by the decentralization. So we started this public chain just to make sure like we are prepared. And this is one reason. Second reason is that we truly believe the future is definitely like in decentralization. The effectiveness is the low cost of it. I love like decentralization, because maintaining a centralized business, you need to deal with lot of things like compliance. You need to deal with like security of assets. But decentralization, you do not need to worry about that. That is why for Uniswap, their team amount is like, I believe, less than 50. But for OKX or Huobi, I mean, we are talking about like 5,000 employees just focusing on centralized business. That is like crazy, but we have to deal with that. So this is why we started our public chain, and we have been working on like a bunch of other infrastructure products or services as well. So this is from this perspective, we share pretty much a lot of similarity between Binance and OKX and BSC and OKX chain. In terms of some like differentiations, I believe Binance, they are way successful than us, because Binance they launched BSC like 2 years ago. And there are definitely some like hiccups they experienced, especially like last year, a lot of hacks and a lot of users, they lose their fund, but eventually they just figured it out. And in terms of TVL, BSC is doing way much better than like most of the public chains. However, I believe in terms of technical side, we also based Cosmos. But for us, we believe like Cosmos is a more like more promising. I believe that is why we are going to enable RBC. We are going to support like CosmWasm. For BSC, I don't see they have such plan. And another differentiation for us is that we have been focusing on optimization of performance in terms of TPS, in terms of gas fees. OKX Chain is way ahead of BSC. So this is the reason, because we kind of missed the good time of the last bull run. So what we have been working on is we are preparing for the next bull run. But for BSC, they definitely like enjoyed and that like took full advantage of last bull run, and they are preparing for the next bull run by working on like sign chains or this kind of stuff. So for this, we are quite different. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. And I love the thing that you said. You realized that decentralization was coming, and instead of just fighting it, which mostly traditional industries do, right? You're like, well, no, let's just onboard it, let's engage in it, and then you launched your own chain. So I think that's definitely the right way to go, and awesome to see. Now, when you launched or when you planned the OKX chain, did you always plan to make it IBC enabled? Because it was announced, I think, just very recently that you would enable it soon. Or was it some recent developments that said, no, we need IBC enabled on our chain, and then you decided later on to enable it? And why are you so bullish on the IBC?
Mm-hmm. Well, even though our chain is powered by Cosmos SDK, but we have not enabled IBC, or I would say since last year we have been focusing on EVM ecosystem. The reason is very simple, because there are a lot of developers in EVM ecosystem, and there are lots of applications in EVM ecosystem. And for a new chain, we need to focus on long-hanging fruits, because we need to build like attraction, and at least like some infrastructures are ready. And that is why in the past year we have been focusing on EVM. So far, the graph on OKX Chain and like Ledger supported us, and as of date, there are over like 230 projects launched on OKX Chain. So we believe we are like fully prepared. And then also we have been like watching Cosmos, and there, even though there are some kind of not good news, such as like Terra, but it depends on how you perceive it. Even though Terra like crashed, but for rest of the Cosmos chains, they are doing very, very well. So this is like exactly why Cosmos is more like, it's like those chains in Cosmos, they share a lot of I would say resources, but in terms of the sovereignty, they are quite different. That is why, like, even though Terra just crashed, but the rest of Cosmos powered chains, they are doing very well. So this is like very, very promising thing, like development for us. And another thing is, even though this is like, this thing happened after we decided to enable RBC, and we already decided to support WASM. That is like DYDX decided to like kind of abandon EVM or Ethereum to embrace Cosmos. This is another like very, very promising development, and we truly believe Cosmos DYDX made the right decision. As like top exchange or decentralized exchange on Ethereum, I believe they definitely need a solution that exactly provided by Cosmos. Share a lot of like resources with other chains, and they also needed to, like, they have their own sovereignty. They have their own like security. So this is those two are very important developments that we have observed. And then this is another like critical reason is we are in like a bear market. Bear market is a very good good time for builders, and because in bull market, those people who are interested in making quick money, they are like not that active anymore. And for those who are interested in like building products or services, they are like still working very hard on this. And so we wanted to start our RBC and talk to developers in Cosmos ecosystem. This is like, I believe, the second reason that we started RBC.
Awesome. And
Mhm.
what are your goals like specifically in Cosmos? What do you want to achieve in the ecosystem? What kind of niche do you want to fill? And also, what do you want to bring to the ecosystem that is maybe missing still in Cosmos?
Mhm. Speaking of Cosmos, it's quite interesting because there are other chains like EVMOS. They are both like EVM compatible as well as RBC enabled. But I believe the unique value of OKX chain is like we are like deeply integrated with OKX. I mean our centralized exchange. And that means users from OKX, they will be able to withdraw assets from centralized exchange to our chain in a very cheap and faster way. And that is why once native USDT is issued on OKX chain, a lot of USDT will be withdrawn to OKX chain rather than like Tron or Ethereum, because it's a lot like expensive than withdraw it to OKX chain. So this is a unique value for us. And once we RBC enabled for users, if they want to experience Cosmos chains like Osmosis, or like there are lots of like quite promising chains or applications in Cosmos ecosystems, such as like Axler or like Yumi. They are like quite interesting. And for users from OKX chain, they will be able to like withdraw assets very cheaply, very fast, and in a very fast way to OKX chain. And then with RBC, they will be able to transfer those assets to Cosmos. So this is I believe for both for users as well as for Cosmos ecosystem, I believe it's very valuable. And the other way around is for users or projects, they issue their token on Cosmos. They will be by like via RBC. The users will be able to transfer assets from Cosmos to OKX chain, and then deposit that asset into our centralized exchange as well. And we are not simply talking about OKX itself. There are a bunch of other like exchanges supported OKX chain. So users will be able to transfer their assets from Cosmos chains in a very secure, very cheap way into like centralized business. So this is like one goal that we wanted to achieve, and this is the one value that we wanted to bring to Cosmos ecosystem. Another value is, as I said, in the past year, we have been focusing on EVM ecosystem, and there's some already some very talented developers building on OKX chain by RBC enable. Those developers will be able to access resources from Cosmos, and some of those projects even considering start their own chain as well. One example is a decentralized exchange. I think I'd better do not name it, but once they realized we are in like embracing Cosmos ecosystem, they are internally discussing if they are going to start their own chain as well. So this is like one example that we are going to the value that we are going to bring to Cosmos ecosystem. And we have been like discussing with Cosmos Hub, Axler, Kadiru, and Injective, IrisNet, and we are going to like talk to like a lot of those chains, Cosmos chains. If they're interested, we are happy to collaborate with them. And at least in two ways. One is in assets, we are happy to support the assets, and if they're interested, like USDTs or TUSDs will be available for them to fully leverage. Second level is we are happy to share our ecosystem resources, like our developers. I mean, there are lots of like projects, infrastructures like Pocket Network or wallets, bridges. We are happy to bring those like ecosystem resources to Cosmos ecosystem as well.
Yeah, I can see it. It's definitely, I think, huge that we have such a close access to a centralized exchange where we can bring on USDT, UST, no, what is that, to Tron USD.
OKB, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So we can onboard those, and it's going to bring a lot of users to Cosmos, definitely. So I can see that there is a lot of value in you guys joining. Now, you said you also want to build your ecosystem, right? And you mentioned a couple of times that you're going to implement CosmWasm as well. So it will be possible to be on the OKX chain with CosmWasm and with still EVM, right? So basically, anyone will be able to develop.
Yeah, exactly. We already like, I believe at least over 10 like teams who have been like developing on like CosmWasm already approached us, and they are very interested in learning like what is the status of like WASM implementation. And we are happy to tell them that WASM will be available on OKX Chain, maybe like in 3 months or a little bit longer. But our developers have been working on it, and we collaborate with CosmWasm team very closely. And we are very happy to like provide support for developers interested in WASM, and we are also talking to developers who have been focusing on like EVM ecosystem. Some of them are like, as a matter of fact, most of the developers from EVM ecosystem, they are like amazed by the current development of like Cosmos, because I mean it's quite interesting because like in EVM ecosystem we have a layer 1 chain or layer 2 chain, and upon it lots of like different applications, DEX, lending protocols, or derivatives. And in Cosmos ecosystem, it's quite unique because we have some kind of individual chains dedicated to that task. And this kind of like design or phenomena is quite unique, and some developers from EVM ecosystem, they are quite interested in learning those things. So eventually, what we are trying our best to do is to bridge developers from EVM ecosystem as well as developers from Cosmos ecosystem. They bridge them together and then build on the best thing they are good at or interested on OKX Chain. Or if they're interested, we are happy to introduce them to like specific chains or start their own chain by like fully leverage the like Cosmos RBC or Cosmos SDK RBC or was from like Cosmos ecosystem.
Awesome. And you say you're supporting the developers. Maybe you can get a little bit deeper into that. Like, what kind of support do you offer someone who's interested in launching on your chain? How do you support them?
All right. Well, it's a very good question. This is the most like commonly asked question by like developers. Speaking of like supports that we usually have, there are a bunch of things. One is from business side, both marketing and business development. Marketing is not a problem. I mean, to be honest, if you deploy your protocol on any chains except maybe Ethereum, if you deploy your protocol on Ethereum, it's really hard to get marketing support from Ethereum Foundation. But for other chains like Avalanche or Polygon or like other chains from Cosmos, if you deploy or develop in the ecosystem, you will be able to get marketing support from them. So the same goes to OKX Chain. But we are also providing like business development support, which based on my experience, like our developers, they really like it, because once they develop in OKX Chain ecosystem, we usually share all of those like projects already launched on OKX Chain or building on OKX Chain, the name list to them, and then they will like cherry pick all of the projects they are interested in, like talking to them or like collaborate with them, and then we build a group for them. Like usually like for projects, we really like build like over like 20 or even more groups and bringing all of those like projects they are interested. This is very valuable because it saves them a lot of time, and also because we bring them together, they build trust like very quickly. So this is something that we are very proud of. Second thing is like, even though it's not in place yet, but we have been working on our grants, and our OKX lab is also like will be available, I believe, very soon. Once OK Labs is in place, we are going to provide like more support, such as like incubation, such as like even investment. So this is something that will be available in the future, but I believe maybe in like 1 month or a little bit longer, but eventually it will be available.
Awesome.
Last resource that we are providing for builders on OKX Chain is because OKX as a company, we have a lot of different businesses. We have OKX Ventures, we have OKX Capital, OKX NFT Marketplace, OKX Wallet, and of course our centralized exchange. And we are happy to introduce those businesses and provide support if necessary, such as investment, such as like helping them to launch their like IDO, especially for like games. Usually for a game, they usually like the first step before they go to market. Before they go to market is like sell their NFTs, and we are providing like some kind of IDO for them. And for projects like growing very well, we are happy to help them get listed on OKX. Even though OKX is like one of the largest in terms of trading volume, a centralized exchange platform, but listing OKX is free. We do not charge any like listing fees or this kind of stuff. It's totally free as long as quality is good. But of course, because it's free, buy is a little bit higher than the rest of exchanges. We are quite picky because anyway, it's free. So we wanted to find the gem of it. So those three are, I believe, the supports that we are offering for developers.
Yeah, that sounds definitely very interesting. I mean, I love the business development side that you said. Like, the more developer you get, the more network you get, the more valuable this network will get, and the
exactly.
more new projects can benefit. So that's amazing. And yeah, I haven't heard from any other chain that does that. Mostly then it's like you have to find the connections yourself, and it can be quite tedious. So if you can take that task away and just provide it, I mean, that's a super great help. And I think also
exactly.
Games listing is very valuable for a lot of like teams that would otherwise struggle. And I mean, we know that it gets a lot of interest into the token if the token's actually listed on something else than just the DEXs. So yeah, I think you can definitely see that there are very interesting value proposition, and it would make sense for a lot of projects to launch on OKX Chain. Now, when I see on what you also said is like you're very much focused on GameFi. You said a little bit already, you think after missing DeFi summer, GameFi is the next big trend that you can still catch. Why do you think OKX Chain is the perfect chain for gaming? What are you doing to specifically cater to gaming?
Well, in terms of gaming, I believe. Well, I needed to be honest. All of those games or GameFi projects that we have seen, I believe, I don't like any of them. I mean, it's not like politically like correct, but to be honest, I'm a big fan of games like Warcraft or like those Counter-Strike. I mean, I spend like nights and nights of my like golden life, like honest, because I enjoyed it, even though I cannot make any penny by playing like Warcraft or Counter Strike, but I really enjoyed it. That is, I believe, the game is all about. And then all of those are like GameFi projects. I mean, X Infinity. I mean, really innovative, and I mean, it like quite interesting. But I don't believe I really enjoyed it playing those project games. So this is the current situation that we have. Why it's like that? I believe one reason is that, of course, it's in the very early stage. Uh, Even for traditional games, I believe in very early stage, its quality is not that good. So this is something that we have to accept it. I believe in the next wave, quality will be way much better, and I'm really believe in that. Another reason I believe is because blockchain technology. I mean, think about Ethereum. Think about like lots of layer one chains, very slow, very expensive. I mean, think about Ethereum. If you do like one transaction in last year around this time, you need to pay like $4 or even more gas fee, and sometimes you need to wait for like way longer, like 10 minutes or even long. And in game industry, this is like crazy. You cannot wait for like 10 minutes to make sure like the transaction is done. That is like very horrible. So that is why like for OKX Chain, we have been like focusing on increase the performance of our chain. We have made our TPS like 4,000, which is like for Ethereum, I believe it's just 2 digits. But for us, it's 4,000, and we are quite confident we will be able to like double it like in a year or so. And in terms of gas fee, our gas fee is like 1/10 of Ethereum, and we are like working on some like new ideas, like specifically providing some kind of a whitelist. And for projects in that whitelist, users do not need to pay for gas fee for that. And I mean those like features will be able to like facilitate a game that users are expecting, or user will be truly enjoying it. Otherwise, I don't think like in terms of if you wanted to make money out of it, not a problem. But if you wanted to like enjoy the game, I believe without very high TPS, without very cheap like transaction fees, it's almost impossible. And then that is why we have been working on like the performance of OKX Chain in the past year, and we will like be focusing on this in the next year, or even like in the next like 5 or more years by doing that. So this is what we have been doing. And in terms of why we choose like games, one thing is we missed the game Define Summer, so we have no choice, which is a little bit sad. Second thing is we truly believe in like in metaverse. We truly believe in games because if we look at like how internet developed from the beginning to now, game like contributed a lot. Not only like onboard a lot of users in internet, but I believe it is like from a certain point of view, created a lot of innovative ideas and technologies. So from that perspective, we truly believe in games, and that is why we have been focusing on gaming. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I fully agree with you in every point here. Like, I also think gaming is one of the prime use cases for NFTs and blockchain chain technology. As a gamer myself, I can immediately see how life could be much better for gamers if it was implemented. But the blockchain gaming environment currently, it's like I don't play any blockchain games. I still play traditional games just because they're more fun. So
Yeah.
it's just that it's for fun, it's not for making money. And I don't think you will adopt gamers with the promise of making money. You adopt gamers by telling them gaming will be more fun and more rewarding for you, and
Yeah,
that's how you
exactly.
get to head.
Yeah,
Now,
play to earn.
Go
Uh,
on.
so sorry. Like when investment manager from Dragonfly, they like he talked about a new idea, like not play to earn, like play and earn. I really like that idea because if you wanted to earn money, you cannot just make money and then enjoy yourself. Because I mean, you go to work, even though you may enjoy work, but usually like it's not as pleasant as like. I mean, when you make money, you definitely need to like to give up something, give up your time or like all of this stuff. So play to earn, I believe it's not a good combination. I mean, you cannot like playing games, enjoy yourself. In the meanwhile, you can also make money. So I believe play and earn is like a very good way. I mean, you play your games and then earn, not like I play games to earn money. So this is something that I wanted to share because I like uh, in the news, and I believe I don't. Sorry, I don't recall his name, but he's definitely investment manager from like Dragonfly. I really like play and earn, not like play to earn.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is a little bit of a shift in perspective because you then like, oh, I'm playing and whatever I get on the side, it's a bonus. Whereas in play to earn, it's
Exactly.
like I play this only to earn. So if I don't get a lot of monetary value, I leave. And that's what you can
Mhm.
see with all these play to earn games. As soon as the price crashed, players left, and now they're kind of left in the mud.
Yeah,
Another thing that's very big, I think, and where we still struggle a lot in crypto gaming is the user experience. Like the
hmm
way it works with wallets. Let's say we are on an EVM chain, bit Avalanche, bit Ethereum, bit Binance chain, whatever. Like you're using your MetaMask, and then you're playing the game, and then there is a transaction because you finish the quest and you get the rewards. And then you have to head over to MetaMask, sign a transaction. You have to wait until it's final. And if it's AVAX, it's quick. But if it's Ethereum, it takes a while. But either way, you have to wait a bit. You have to change the app, especially if you play on your phone. You have to leave the
hmm
game on the phone, get over. So it's not a smooth experience, like the way it is right
yeah.
now.
hmm
And how are you planning to allow developers on the OKX chain to solve these problems? I read you have, and you also told you have the zero gas fee protocol. So will there be a way that maybe we don't even have to sign transaction because it's just handled in the back because there's no transaction fees? Or is
hmm
there a specific plan that you have in mind to solve that user experience problem that we can see on most chains right now?
hmm Well, totally agreed. I mean, I would not say like in terms of user experience, the current like gamify projects they are like disaster, but I truly believe it's not pleasant. It's not like supposed to be that way. But and I also believe eventually we will solve it. I mean, if there's some kind of some like trouble or not pleasant thing happened because of technology, just give it time. Technology will find a solution, and sometimes it will surprise you. Like this is the beauty of technology. But and for OKX Chain, I don't believe like we will. I mean, OKX Chain will be able to solve that. I mean, I needed to be like, to be honest with you, this is something like really hard. And I believe this is something that I truly believe it will be solved in a very short time, but it will be solved by like uh, by people in blockchain technology in this space, not by any like individual chains. I don't believe it will be solved by Ethereum, even though Ethereum has the like the largest ecosystem and the most talented developers. But I don't believe even Ethereum cannot be able to solve this by itself alone. So I believe this is for like blockchain technology. Uh, that being said, uh, OKX Chain has been like working on it uh, since the beginning of its like launch. One way is, as I said, we are thinking about a plan to make it like gasless. create a whitelist, because we definitely will be able to make it like all transaction gasless, or zero gas, but that creates a new problem, like some kind of a lot of useless transactions, or this kind of like CBL attack. However, we can introduce some kind of a whitelist, and for those projects in that whitelist, users do not need to pay gas fees. This is, I believe, definitely will be very helpful for gamers, but I don't believe it will solve all of those like bad user experience that we have been experienced. One reason is, as I said, a lot of almost all of the players, when they evaluate a game project, usually what they are looking for is how much money can I make from it. So they usually like check the token price. They will check like it's the volume of their community, and of course they consider the quality of games. But I think most of the users, they consider the quality of the games is because they wanted to know, like, because if quality is good, a lot of like more players will be joining the community, and that means the price of a token will increase a lot. So so players, they treat game projects as a way of investment, and I think this is something that we as a public chain, we cannot solve that, and we definitely need a lot of talented and dedicated game studios join this industry and build like 4A games, or a lot of innovative games that may change the core of the current version of GameFi projects. So for this perspective, what we have been doing is we have been engaging with traditional game studios. Some of them are quite well known, and they have published and build very, very successful games, but in traditional way. And we have been engaging with them. We have been helping them to like onboard those basic blockchain technologies, and how to design tokenomics, all this kind of stuff. And hopefully we can like, by collaborating with them, we will be able to bring in some games that we truly enjoy playing it, rather than like we just focus on how much money we will make. Once the price of a token declines, we just abandon it and then try to find a new game. So this is something that we are trying our best to collaborate with game studios, collaborate with engineers, people from like blockchain industry to solve this.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a good way to go. And I agree. If this is solved, it's probably solved by game developers, because those are the ones that their entire business is making a game enjoyable. So they will look for the solutions, whereas that's not really the core business of the blockchain developers. So probably it will be talented game developers that solve this problem and make games very enjoyable in terms of user experience, even if they're based on a blockchain. Now shifting gears just a little bit, when you enable IBC very shortly, which will be some apps you are going to connect with and going to collaborate with soon? Will you bring USDT to Osmosis, or that's something that was just in my mind? But maybe, yeah, just walk me through what are some major use cases, some major things you want to achieve straight away when you enable IBC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Osmosis is definitely one of our top target projects. We are very happy to see like developers from Osmosis, in community from Osmosis. They are also very like excited to collaborating with us. Once IBC is enabled, we will introduce assets, some like quality assets from our chain, our ecosystem to Osmosis, and we are also happy to support like assets from Osmosis on OKX Chain as well. So this is one project that we are very excited. Another one is Exla. I believe I mentioned Exla already like 3 or more times. It's one of my favorite projects from Cosmos. and what they are providing, I mean, it's quite innovative, and we truly believe Axler will eventually be one of like core components of Cosmos ecosystem. And we already like collaborated with them, not only in between in a chain level, but in other businesses as well. So we are really looking forward to collaborating with them. And then other chains such as like Injective, such as Iris Network or like Safe Chain. We are like happy to collaborate all of them, as a matter of fact, because it's not our decision to choose like which chains or which assets we are going to support. What we can do is we just enable it, we make it happen, and eventually it's totally up to our community to decide which assets or which chains they are going to like use or explore more. So what we are providing is just to make sure like if you wanted to like transfer assets to specific Cosmos chains, it's there. I mean, RBC is enabled, you will be able to like experience the RBC and the target chain. And this is what we have been trying our best to achieve.
Awesome. Then maybe you can get a little bit into the roadmap. You know, you already said that CosmWasm is about in 3 months, maybe a little bit longer is going to be ready. When will IBC be enabled? Is there a time horizon for that? And what are some other major milestones that we can look forward to?
Well, from like technology development, RBC is already enabled on our testnet. I believe like 2 weeks ago we enabled RBC, and then at least there are, I believe, 4 projects playing around with the testnet. And once it's enabled on our mainnet, they will migrate from testnet to our mainnet. And we will enable IBC on our mainnet by the end of this month. So it's just like 2 or 3 weeks away. But before we fully enable our IBC, we wanted to make sure like there are at least some user cases. That means we wanted to make sure we are fully prepared, or IBC between Osmosis or Axler, they are already like in place. And then once we announced this, users will be able to transfer their assets between those like Osmosis or IrisNet to like OKX Chain. And in terms of WASP, as you said, maybe three months or a little bit longer, but I believe, but our developers has been working on it for like 3 months. So we are quite confident it will be available by the end of this year. Rest of them, we have been working very hard on optimizing the performance of our chain. We are quite confident TPS will be like north of like 4,000. And then I believe in terms of TPS, OKX Chain definitely is the best. And other milestones, I believe we are going to onboard, or we have been engaging with IVE as well as a Curve, and we are quite confident we will be able to onboard Curve and IVE on OKX Chain this year or early next year. And this is definitely a big deal because, to be honest, since we have been focusing on GameFi, we have not focused on like TVL or this kind of stuff. But we believe it's also very, very important. So once Curve or IVE, those top projects on OKX Chain, we will like initiate some campaigns, and we are quite confident TVLs on OKX will increase dramatically. And then we have been working on like move to earns or DAO or like Web3 or SocialFi, all of those like fancy trends. What we are doing is we just wanted to be fully prepared for the next bull run. And hopefully in the next bull run, OKX Chain will be the like will be a star rather than like in the like last bull run we were just like some kind of new kids in the block, so we just like learning the ropes and this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. I mean, bringing Curve to Cosmos alone is like going to blow people's minds. So awesome news. I'm very happy to hear that and pumped that we're gonna have you soon on
Thanks.
Cosmos. Sounds all very good. Now, you have been covered a lot. I think you shared a lot of alpha with us. Very good episode. If people want to reach out to you, if they want to learn more maybe or ask you questions, where can they find you? Where can people find the OKX chain? Like, what's the best way to connect?
Well, OKX.com is always like there. There are a lot of like all of the necessary docs are already there, and some like high profile ecosystem players we listed on our on that page. So feel free to visit that page. But as I said, we are proud of like supporting. So we encourage developers or any folks interested in learning more of OKX Chain directly reach to our like ecosystem developers. Some of them based in Southeast Asia, some of them based in Northern America, and we are going to onboard some colleagues from Russia-speaking countries. So we are happy to directly engage with the developers personally, and then we are happy to present all of the resources or support that they need. So that means like visit our Discord, visit our Telegram group, and then just tag any of admins or people from OKX Chain, and you will get like response from us, and you will be surprised that all of the supports that we provide personally.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely make sure then to also link your Discord server in the show notes and link the Telegram group in the show notes. So
yeah,
awesome.
That would be super nice.
Thank you so much for taking the time for being on. It was very informative, as I said, and I'm looking super forward to have you IBC enabled, see the OKX chain on Cosmos, and I think you bring a lot of value, a lot of user, new applications, new stable coins. Like you bring so much to Cosmos, so I'm super pumped to have this happening so soon. And yeah, thank you for talking to us. Thank you for taking the time, and yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucas. Really enjoyed it, and yeah, we really looking. I look forward to bring more value to Cosmos ecosystem because we truly believe Cosmos, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to smash up that like button, subscribe to us on YouTube, on Spotify, wherever you're listening or watching this. Thank you so much. That really helps us a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you have a great day and talk to you soon again. Peace out.